Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Vechain. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of your screen. So I also have two donation links down below in the description. If you want to support the Ukrainian refugees, you can do so by going over to the official websites linked down below, and you can donate directly to the funds if you're able to do so. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support, and let's get to the technical analysis. So jumping into the daily chart right now, as you can see, we're coming back down to where we started retracing from in July. As you can see, we printed our low here in July, and ever since then, we have been in a very nice uptrend, and we went all the way up to the 0.03357 zone, which is where we got rejected from in May. So we basically back tested a previous resistance, and from this low that we printed here in July, we made a 62% move to the upside. And from the low that we printed in June, we made a 68% move to the upside. And since that low, or since that high in August, we have retraced back down 36%. So this is a good buying opportunity for anyone who took profits at this level, or who is who's simply looking to buy into Vechain, because basically right now you are at your local low prices, because your swing low over here is at 0.02 cents. So basically 2 cents is your low, and you're slightly above that level by 13.5% or 14%. So I don't think that's too much. Even if you pull back down to this zone, you can still dollar cost average, because trying to time the market is extremely difficult, and you will probably never time it correctly unless you get real lucky. Okay, so what is happening over here right now is that we're printing a very nice double bottom pattern. So you have your first bottom here, and now you're starting to print your second bottom here. The important thing for us to do is we don't want to lose this low here, because if you lose this low and you start going lower, you not only invalidate the double bottom pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern, but you also will have more targets to the downside, because once you're losing a low based on the Fib retracement, you are going to have more targets to the downside. So after losing 2 cents, you will have a minimal target of 0.0173 cents, and your technical target here, which is the 1.618, and the second fib level of the larger fib that we have in the background, that is going to be at 0.01441 cents. And from where we are right now, that is another hefty 36.8% pullback. So let's see if we can actually get to those numbers. Personally, I don't think we're going to go that low unless Bitcoin decides that it wants to retest $14,000-15,000. At that point, yes, I would think altcoins would be basically decimated, and realistically, those would be good prices to buy in, but the level of fear that the markets would have at that point would be enormous, and I don't know how long will it take us to start printing higher highs. But I would imagine spring of 2023 is when we're going to start building our blocks towards the next bull market in 2024. If you zoom in here on Vechain on the daily chart, you can see that we are getting rejected by the 20 EMA. And I always tell you guys that this is a very good selling point, the 20 EMA here. So you did have a nice 6.5% trade here from the 20 EMA if you took profits. But like I said, just be careful taking profits at these levels, because you're very near the lows, and you may have a relief rally out of nowhere if you get some bullish news. So always be careful swing trading, regardless if you're near the low or not. Just be careful, because the price can always reverse, and things may turn bullish in an instant. So you just have to be careful about with those things. And what we're seeing right now is we're breaking out of this falling wedge here. We're going to have a target all the way up here at 0.0258 cents, which from where we are is going to be a 13% move to the upside. So this is our technical target from this falling wedge, because that is where the falling wedge was created. And going back to the double bottom pattern here, we're going to take a trend line and measure our breakout target. So if we start breaking above this swing high here, okay, let's take that all the way down to this low. Okay, just like that. And let's place it at the neckline and see what our target is going to be. So our target currently seems to be the first level of the Fibonacci retracement, or the swing low that we have from the larger fib here. And the larger fib is set up in this way. So you have a swing high here in November and the swing low in May of 2021. And as you can see, the double bottom technical target is going to be the exact level we have bounced from in May of 2021. So I don't think that happens by accident, right? There is a good chance you're going to retest this level potentially in November, because I do think we're going to have a nice relief rally in November. 125% to that level from where we are right now. The past 2 Novembers we have been bullish, and we are in a bear market right now, obviously, but still I do think we're going to have a break to the upside in November. Now watch out for this huge white trend line that we have, because we currently find ourselves in a large pattern, as you can see. So we find ourselves in this broadening descending pattern, or descending wedge, and our target is going to be over here at around about 18 cents. So that is going to be some of your target. That is going to be your technical target once you start breaking out from this pattern. However, I do think that potentially there is a good chance that we may run into that resistance in November, and then we can come back down and retest the 1.618 here, which is the technical target of this larger fib. So always pay attention to these long-term resistance trend lines, the diagonal ones here. Once you start breaking them, you typically have bullish moves to the upside, and you may get overbought in a couple of weeks. That would be a good time to take some profits, and then you buy back in after the next correction happens. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at for Harmony One. Obviously, you're in the buy zone right now. This is a very good buy zone from me. Anywhere from 0.02349 cents all the way down to 2 cents. This is a very good level to be dollar cost averaging. You also have another support level here. Just feel free to add some buy limit orders at these levels, just so if you see a capitulation, a quick capitulation, you might get the V-shaped recovery instantly, and you're back in this zone here, and then you're recovering into spring of 2023. So yeah, having those limit orders in advance is a very, very smart thing to do. So obviously, going to the daily RSI, we are very near the oversold here, sitting at the index of 45 currently. Well, not that close actually, but as you all know, once you're below the index of 30, you're considered oversold, and that is typically a very good time to start buying into those assets. As you can see, currently we do have some sort of a range here that we're trading in, and we're going to remove the white trend line here. So as you can see, we're currently printing higher lows, and we're currently printing lower highs. So this is a symmetrical triangle, obviously, and once we start getting closer to the apex of that pattern, we may see a very, very strong breakout. But as you can see, that takes us all the way into May of 2023. So no one knows when that is going to happen, but feel free to get these trend lines on your charts, because you may run into this pink trend line in November once you have that potential move to the upside, because you did run into this level as resistance in April this year, and you did run into it as resistance in August this year. And you did retest the lower trend line as support in May, in June, in August, and potentially looking for another test here in September if we have another pullback, or in October. September is almost over. And you did have a little fake out here in May as well. So yeah, that's something that I'm keeping an eye on right now on the daily RSI. Let's switch over to the Binance website. Moving over to the weekly chart on Binance, as you can see, currently we are still in this sideways channel that I showed you in the last update, and we are very near the resistance of this channel down pattern that we find ourselves in. As you can see, the last retest was in August this year. The previous before that was in April, and you have 2 bounces here. So basically we are in this channel down pattern, and right now if you want to continue down in this channel pattern, then you are going to break the sideways channel here. So it's either that or this. So if you break towards that level there into October and you retest those lows below 1 cent, and then potentially, well, not potentially, then you're going to be losing the sideways channel, which this is a major resistance or support trend line here. We've been holding that ever since June. And if you want to continue in this sideways channel, then you're going to have to break out of the channel down pattern, back test potentially the low over here, and back test the channel's support right now, and continue on from there and potentially break out into November from the sideways channel. But like I said, if you start losing the support of the channel down pattern, I would have more targets to the downside, and you can get those by bringing out a Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low that we printed in June, and you're gonna have the 1.618 target here at 0.01444, and that would be my technical target if we're gonna start losing this low, okay? And if we start losing the channel's support. So I hope that doesn't happen, but although, you know, for everyone buying into the Vechain, that would be a good thing because you could buy at a cheaper price. So in that regard, I actually hope it comes down so you guys can buy it at a cheaper price. But let's just hope that we can all have enough time to accumulate our favorite altcoins and be ready for the next bull market. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. I do drop in your technical analysis requests, your video requests, my low cap gem calls, all of my trade alerts, and you also get weekly podcasts as well. There is going to be an episode dropping in tonight. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.